Hello everyone, welcome back to Talking the Talkies. My name is Peter Waters, and in today's video, I'll be talking about all of those favorite movies of mine from the first month of the year, January of 2022. First up is Mitchells vs. the Machines from last year. This is a movie that it remains to be seen in about a week from now to see if it will be nominated at the Oscars for Best Animated Feature, and if it is, I think it honestly deserves to win. It's my pick of the month this month, and it was just really, really good. So what is it about? Pretty much it's about this family going on a road trip, and so you have the youngest daughter. She gets accepted into film school, and the family decides to have one last sort of family vacation road trip driving cross country to the school. But on the way, there's this tech company that is making all these AI sort of computers, and the AI algorithm goes out of control and becomes sentient and decides to destroy all humans. And so you have this sort of quirky family story juxtaposed with this full-on action movie robo-apocalypse going on. What makes this movie so good to me is the family story at its heart, as well as the amazingly beautiful, detailed, and hilarious animation. There's all kinds of like cutaway jokes and blink it if you miss it jokes that will definitely reward re-watching this movie. It's just really good. It made me laugh. It made me tear up in parts. It's just a fantastic animated film, one of the best of the year. So I would highly recommend that one. Alright, my second pick of the month is another animated film called Castle in the Sky. This one's from 1986, and it's the first movie made under the banner of Studio Ghibli, the very famous anime company from Japan that produced like Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle. And this is another Hayao Miyazaki film. It's about these two orphans who join forces together, and they're running away from sky pirates. There's a lot of steampunk sort of technology with like these intricate flying machines, and they are trying to find this mysterious castle in the sky that their parents, they're sort of finishing the journey that their parents never got to complete while on the run from these people who are after this girl's powers. She has this like powerful crystal. I really like how in these Ghibli movies there's always this cross between like this beautiful serene nature as well as this sort of cool technology. This pretty much set the template for a lot of future Ghibli movies. I thought it was a really good one. Maybe not my tippy top favorite from that studio, but it's definitely worth a watch if you like those kinds of movies. So check out Castle in the Sky. Alright, my next pick is another one that came out last year, but I'm just catching up to it now, and it's called Mass. Now, fair warning, this is one of the most heavy emotionally movies that you could watch. Pretty much what it's about, without spoiling it too much, it's a group of 4 parents who are in sort of a therapy session together, and they are going over an event that involved all of their children. And that's all I'll say. You can kind of probably guess where it's headed with the title of the film, but this is just a straight up extremely well acted movie. It's not based on a play, but it very much feels like it could take place on the stage, because it is literally just a room for the most part, and these 4 people having a discussion, and it is riveting the whole time. The acting is phenomenal. The 4 leads are all great. They all deserve Oscar nominations that I don't think that they're going to get. It remains to be seen until next week when they're announced. But my favorite of the 4 is definitely Martha Plimpton. She is fantastic in this movie. She deserves to win Best Supporting Actress, and if I could travel back in time, she would be my best actress of last year. She was so good. Alright, my next pick is another animated film. I have 3 animated movies on the list this month, and this one came out recently called Belle, and weirdly enough, this is another anime film that I actually saw in IMAX. Definitely a genre you don't see too often on the big screen like that, but this is sort of like a mix between The Matrix and Beauty and the Beast. It's a retelling of the Beauty and the Beast fairy tale, but set in this sort of world, very much like Ready Player One, where everybody's hitched into this virtual world that sort of creates this avatar for you based on your personality and your experiences. And we have like this sort of average teenager in high school who gets sucked into this virtual reality world, and she befriends this beast character in a way who is on the run from the sort of virtual police. They're all after him, and as the two come to know each other, they realize that their avatars that they've created are sort of masks for the traumas that they've experienced in life. You have to be kind of a fan of anime to enjoy some of the quirky humor in it, but I thought it was a really good example of the genre. Definitely one to check out. Belle, another solid anime movie. All right, my next pick is from 2017, and it's a movie called My Friend Dahmer. Now, this one is based on a graphic novel. The graphic novel is also excellent, and I highly recommend you check that out as well. But both the graphic novel and the film are about the early high school years of notorious serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer, and basically the events that took place during his coming of age that might explain some of his horrific behavior that he became known for after graduating high school. And it's all told from the perspective of a kid that went to school with him. He was in loose terms sort of friends with Jeffrey Dahmer, and so you get this sort of outsider's perspective on what Dahmer's life was like, but it's a first-hand account. It's a really interesting movie, not only as an origin story of a serial killer, but also it says a lot about the difficulties of navigating life as a teenager in high school. I think it's a difficult time for everyone who goes through that period of their lives, and it's especially tough on Jeffrey Dahmer and those people in his circle. All right, my next pick is a documentary that came out within the last year or so. It's called The 9 Lives of Ozzy Osbourne, and it's all about the rock legend's life told from his own words and the people in his circle. And pretty much if you're a fan of his music or his cult of personality, I think you'll find a lot to enjoy about it. Not a lot of the information may be new to super fans out there, but it does arrange his sort of life in this nice, nifty timeline to enjoy, and it's always a joy to hear from, the man himself and Sharon Osbourne, his wife, and some of the people who knew him. He has led a wild and crazy life, among the wild and craziest of all rock and roll stars. There's only one Ozzy Osbourne. He has led a singular life, and it's fascinating to, get to dive into for a little bit. All right, and my final pick of the month is a Japanese horror thriller movie called Cure from 1997, and this one definitely has that sort of 90s thriller vibe in it, very similar to like Seven from David Fincher or Silence of the Lambs. It follows this detective who is trying to investigate who is responsible for this recent string of violent, grisly murders, and it appears that all the killers in this case have suffered amnesia. They don't remember who they are, and they're not sure why they're killing people close to them. And so pretty much there's a hint that there might be something supernatural at play, something about hypnosis. It's unclear, and it's very disturbing because, people are losing control of their faculties and murdering each other. So it's a really tense thriller, very slow moving, very sinister. I loved the sort of neo-noir atmosphere of this film. So that wraps up my picks. Not a whole big list for January. Let's face it, January is never a great month for movies usually. So I expect, even though February is shorter, maybe there will be more than 7 next time. And expect in the future to see my reactions and my predictions to the most recent Oscars. So those will be announced in a week's time. I'm looking forward to seeing what's nominated. And until next time, I'll see you later.